Salam and good evening, and welcome to the Manic Money Finance channel. I'm Money Mike, here to talk to you about some fun crypto and stock market shenanigans. Let me just check some audio levels here, folks. Gotta get them audio levels good. Let's see if they're working great. Oh, audio levels are perfect. We can even turn on the gain a little bit. Turn it down a little bit, get the monitor down a little bit. This is a chill stream, guys. Chill stream. I had 4 hours of driving today, for work. It was a rough day. I was the one driving. Didn't get a ton of time to do research. What can you do? But, you know what I did do? You know what I did do? I did have the opportunity. To jump into a stock that had earnings this afternoon. I believe I talked about it last night. I do believe I talked about this one last night. All right. I drew some lines on a chart. These guys right here. Boom. Dropped earnings today. People were expecting 14 cents a share. You know what they got? They got 16 cents a share. The stock is currently trading over $12 a share. I bought in. I went long. I had a feeling, what can I say? The problem with TradingView is it will not give me, I'm punching into the wrong keyboard. Problem with TradingView is they will not show me after hours price action, right? I'm only gonna get the current trading session, which is ridiculous. And go right here, and you can see this right here. After hours, $12.20 a share. $12.20 a share. What a beautiful thing. I talked about this stock last night. I said, Snapchat, go long. Even more so though, what's really gonna blow your mind is you see yesterday when we were looking at this, I was saying that this thing is consolidating into this cone. And when it gets to the end of this cone, it's probably going to work its way up. And that happened this morning at market open. It gapped up slightly. It filled the gap here, so we don't have to worry about that tiny little gap anyways. And then look at it went up. And after market, when they dropped their earnings, which is good earnings, it popped. Not financial advice. I wasn't giving you financial advice. We're just, showing you how this thing was going to go. And sure enough, look, right up here, 1220, 1225 actually right now. And I know, people might be wondering, is Snapchat going to keep going up? And I think it is. It flagged out nicely. Granted, it is after hours trading, but after a company drops earnings in the afternoon, they're going to have a nice volume. And it was the most volume the stock had all day was during their earnings in aftermarket trading. It's pretty crazy, man. Pretty crazy. Cannot make this stuff up. But so I was talking about my small account challenge yesterday. I just want to make sure. Let me just make sure. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to the small account. I'm gonna make sure that my my thing is hidden for you guys because I'm gonna share my entire screen. And yeah, I'm gonna share this other window with you. That's what we're gonna do. So here you go. Here you go. This is it right here. Right? This is a small account. This is our third week. So we only have $45 that we started with here. And as you can see, one of my holdings is down 4%. One of my holdings is down 4%. Those are the Bitcoin Depot warrants. I've told you guys about those. Zomedica, my number one for 2025. It's actually slightly negative 0.27%. But today, while you're waiting for funds to clear, you can actually invest in certain stocks. It has to be like large publicly traded stocks. So Snapchat just happened to qualify. So I can go ahead and I can trade that with funds that haven't cleared yet with Charles Schwab. And as you can see, we are up to 1225. That's that's only 70-cent profit, but we're working with one share. We're working with an initial investment of 11.55. You have to ignore this one here. So basically, I've used all these accounts to do a lot of trading in the past, and sometimes things don't go well. And as you can see, this thing has been revoked by the SEC. It is a ghost share. The company does not exist anymore. And once this happens, I'm gonna find out what I have to do to get this out of my out of here, so it's not junking up the screen when we check out the small account periodically. I was saying how I wanted to actually get in here and show you guys the exact small account and what I'm doing with it. Not financial advice. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing any live trading on here with you guys. I just kind of wanted to show you what we actually got cooking here in the kitchen. And I would say, it was not bad. Not bad. One of our holdings is down 4%, but I did one trade today, as you can see. One trade. And we are now up total. 8 cents total. $45.08. I know it's going to start really slow in the beginning. But basically what I'm doing now, and I think I might actually roll with this, is keeping 2 holdings that are long-term and 1 holding where I'm going to be doing just short-term basic stock share trading. Because of where this account is and it's just starting out, I don't want to buy some cheap options and end up getting hosed. Because right now, the only options that you're going to be able to afford with a $50 account is going to be some really cheap options, which either means that there's a very small chance that they'll ever do anything, or that people just aren't looking at that stock at all, which can be nice. I've had some really, really nice, profits doing that. Let me go ahead and bring up the chat, see if anybody's jumping in. And I know we have a few viewers already. But yeah, this is gonna be something. We're in week 3 here, so I'm gonna just keep doing $15 a week. Anybody can afford that, and by the end of the year, you're gonna be amazed at what I can do with this and where we're at. So this is something that I'll probably, I'll do it for the next year, at least. Obviously, as the show evolves, the structure might change. I really want to cover a lot of news because the news is important. The news is what drove Bitcoin today. Some people will tell you the news doesn't matter and it's all about the chart. I tell you what, I can't get behind that. People are always looking at news. News is important. But without further ado, let's bring up the Bitcoin chart. See what's going on with the old Bitcoin, the old BTC. All right. Well, we're going to bring it down to the 1 day. Back it out so you guys can see the hodgepodge mess. I know we're seeing that 96.5, which is a crucial level, V-shaped correction. At 96.5 is super crucial. A lot of people think it's 100K, but it actually isn't. We can actually drop slightly below 100K. But if we start losing that 96.5 on a regular basis, we're going to dump. We're going to dump. If you look at this thing the past month, right, you see boom here, boom here, boom there. That's not a very good, if you look at it, bottom, not a very good trajectory here. Because when you look at it this way, top, this either tells me that we have a lot of sideways trading to go before this pops, possibly. Like I said, news makes a difference, because if you saw before today, we were trading. This line would have come from down here somewhere and come up through here before today, or before the last couple days, and you would have expected this thing to trade sideways to here before it went up. You're probably asking, Mike, what happened? What happened to Bitcoin today? And I will tell you, and you can go ahead and look this up yourself. Google does have some really good. Bitcoin does have some really good. Don't want the full coverage. I just want the news. All right. Well, that's probably not going to give you a great picture of, because I'm getting top news here. I don't want top news, right? So these guys are all talking about Trump tariffs, global sell-offs. No. Bitcoin went back over 100K after the tariff talk started and the the tariff inaction stalled. Yeah, I'll come down a bit. Okay. The after the tariff talks, the tariff stalled and the talk started, Bitcoin, it regained that price point. But what really happened today, and I had it up on my other Google account, but I'll just tell you what really happened today is Trump's new crypto czar spoke. And there was an announcement of a strategic wealth fund for the United States as a country. We're going to start our own, wealth fund, which is pretty wild. It's going to be a strategic fund of assets owned directly by the federal government, separate from the Federal Reserve, where it'll actually, we're basically going to start putting some money in the bank, people. And when they were talking about this strategic fund, they left out Bitcoin and cryptocurrency entirely. So guess what? There's no strategic Bitcoin reserve coming soon. And that was priced in, slightly priced in to what was going on here, at least over the $100,000 range. So now what we get is this. So there's going to be no strategic Bitcoin reserve. So we get this, just, regain this $100,000 range. No Bitcoin reserve. Trump's new crypto czar said that we want regulation. We want a regulatory framework. We want anybody starting any of these cryptocurrencies in the United States to have to follow the SEC guidelines. And I don't know if anybody knows anything about cryptocurrency, but one of the best things about cryptocurrency is that the government doesn't have their hands in it. It's also one of the worst things about it. Anybody who's ever jumped into a new altcoin and has been privy to a rug pull and had just, lost all their money, you understand. It's a rough place to be. And you kind of almost wish you had an ability to go after these people who just took all your money, which you didn't. You didn't. Obviously, this is not going to stop foreign countries from doing their thing. I do not believe it's going to stop non-custodial wallets because there's nobody to go after there. It's your own wallet. You have control over it. Most of these exchanges that operate in the United States already have their own. They already have the licenses and the regulatory approval to do what they're doing. So really, what this is going to affect, one particular one that this is going to affect, because it seems like Trump and his people are actually favorable to this one, and not my favorite asset in any way, shape, or form. XRP, not my favorite asset, and I think these gains are massively unsustainable, given what it actually is, and given the sheer amount of coins that Ripple owns that they can dump on the market at any time they deem fit, anytime they please. Half of the circulating supply has not been released to market yet at all. It's not a part of the market cap. It's not even considered into it. So when you see this $147.14 billion market cap, it's basically 50 billion coins divided by that. About. So it's just a little over 50 billion coins. There's a max supply of 100 billion. So I think that they're going to do really well with this whole regulation coming in, because basically Biden's SEC was attacking them, and Trump's SEC is going to want to do the opposite of that. I've never ever suggested this as a play before. I always made fun of the people, the XRP maximalists, the ones who think XRP is going to be the new global standard currency. Well, I'll tell you what, right now, I think this one, with regulation coming, could actually do pretty well. American-based company, Ripple, they're doing bank transfers. There's no nodes. There's no staking for this. You can get rewarded for. All dilution comes from Ripple selling this, which is why it is so much like a stock and not a cryptocurrency, in my opinion. When people invest in this, Ripple likes to say, "Oh, you're not investing in the Ripple company. You're investing in XRP. You're just investing in all our computer code, our technology, our ability to get clients." Oh, wait a second. Howey test totally fails. But whatever, I got to know when to throw in the towel. So, telling you right now that XRP's a buy, and I might actually start phasing into this. I just don't think regulation is going to be good for cryptocurrency on a whole, at least, especially short term, at least. Do I think the bull market's over? Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I'm looking at this. I'm thinking to myself, what do I see here? I see it maintaining over the base trend line. I see sideways chop. I see volatility. If you look at the past 3 months, and you see this is not fantastic. This is not fantastic. It's range bound. It is range bound. And maybe the markets will digest this, because Bitcoin's not going to be subject to any kind of regulation. It can't be. It's a three-headed monster of its own now. It's Cerberus, and it wants to become a Hydra. It wants to become the Hydra, the five-headed monster. You know what I'm saying? Analogies. You have to forgive me. I'm kind of tired, but it's an interesting place. I'm going to make a prediction. I have to make a prediction, and I'm gonna say that it's gonna keep going up. I'm going to say that it's going to pop up. It's going to break out of this 3-month trend line. Is this 3 month? Yeah, 3 month. It's going to break out of this 3-month trend line. As you can see, If you back it up to 6 months, you can see it can trade sideways with lots of chop for a while before it steps up. And I think, I was saying spring. I thought it was going to be quicker than that initially with everything that was going on at the end of this year. But spring, 125K. I can definitely say that. Might be more, but I can definitely predict 125K confidently. Yeah. What was interesting that we saw today was a decoupling of the S&P from Bitcoin. So that it's not much. They did not separate much. As you can see, these charts are pretty similar. It's surprising to see traditional financial market news affect Bitcoin so much, but that's what's been happening. But today, when Bitcoin dipped, the S&P ripped, and it regained that 6,000 range. It traded out at 6,037 for the day. This is obviously real time. So they're gonna give me. This is not real time, but it closed out to 4 p.m. at 6,037, which means this should be 603. So what we're seeing now is a slight decoupling. This could actually further widen in the coming days. So that'll be interesting to see and watch. I knew it was going to happen eventually. We're just it's been a good thing. It's been going for a long time. Or conversely, we might see the S&P drop and trail Bitcoin, follow it down into oblivion. But I really don't think that's going to be the case. Looking at this chart, it looks pretty decent. We're actually flagging up. This is an inverse head and shoulders here. So that's actually a pretty good sign. People know that I don't follow the charts completely. I understand that news drivers are the biggest things that affect stocks. News is the biggest thing that will affect stocks. Barring any major news, as we know, Friday is going to be the worst day of the week here. That's going to be the most volatile day of the week on the stock market with the the economic data coming out. This is an inverse head and shoulders. This tells me we're probably going up tomorrow, unless something crazy happens. It's probably going to be a decent day. Well, and a lot of my picks kept going up today. It's from the top 10 of 2025. I'm going to start putting together an actual, I'm going to try to figure out a way to put together an actual kind of spreadsheet thing where I can go in there and just punch in the prices of the different stocks that I put in there in that video. And then it'll give us a percentage gain on a portfolio, so you can see, so I can hold myself accountable on that video, because I don't want to be known as a guy that gives bad info, gives you bad stock picks. I don't want to be that guy. Nobody wants to be that guy. So I'm definitely going to be working on that for you guys. I will have that this weekend at the latest. To be completely honest with you, that's really all I got today. I did not have time to do a lot of research today. I was streaming on my other channel, doing a little Fallout 4 action, just rewarding myself today because I've been working for, 48 hours straight, and kind of just needed a break. I will come back hot and heavy tomorrow. I will have some time to go over some stocks. I'm going to go over some earnings plays for the week. I'm rejuvenated in my earnings plays after Snap. So we're going to be looking at some stock earning plays, and I'm going to be making picks. I'm going to be making picks up and down, long or short, so you guys can hold me accountable. I'm going to go through the data that I do have. I'm going to look at the chart a little bit. I'm going to go through the data. I'm going to see earnings trends, everything else. I might even look at what some analysts are saying. I'm going to do the opposite because these analysts suck. and give you guys, show you guys how to do earnings season here, because we're getting into the point now where a lot of these small caps are starting to report. So in January is when you get a lot of the large caps, the bank companies, because they have accountants on payroll. They're all reporting in January, but February, that's when you get Snapchat. That's when you get companies like that, and those can be the funnest ones to trade on earnings. It's quick, it's fast, it's volatile. Yeah. If you're trading shares, trading options can be pretty rough. If it does go up or down, depending on what you pick, you make a lot more money. But the problem is you will be stuck during after hours or pre-market, because you can only sell options on the open market between 9:30 and 4. So we're just going to be looking at just buying shares. The other thing that was probably the biggest thing I was going to say. We're taking a different approach to this channel. I think I mentioned it yesterday. We're still going to be aggressive. We're still going to be going after small caps. You know, the stocks that we're going after are not going to change, but the tactics will. We're going to be a little safer. We're going to be a little more cautious. We're going to hedge our risk, and we're going to be looking at sustained growth, because that's really the way to go. I've been trying to find, these crazy 1,000% gains and everything else, and that's just, it's just not going well for me. I mean, I put together a whole thing. I put together a whole portfolio, and then I didn't follow. And if I just followed that portfolio that I showed you guys, I'd be infinitely better off right now. My first month of the year has been dookie, straight dookie, just bad stuff. And I need to learn from this lesson. I need to stop chasing the dragon. We need to trade smart. So that's what it's going to be about. We're going to be about trading smart. I'm going to use that small account challenge to ground me, and we're gonna be intelligent about this. Because if I come on here and I start talking about crazy stuff like algorithm rhyme, and these Chinese stocks that I was talking about that I lost my butt on, you guys aren't gonna follow me after that. Yeah, I'm gonna do things a little bit different. I'm being a little more real with you tonight. I don't really have the energy to be crazy. No, it's chill, very chill. That's all I got for you guys tonight.